Electricity is a phenomenon in which the forces of nature are used at a certain rate per unit time, and that internal frequency can be raised via an internal manipulation within the circuit rather than by way of brute force from outside the circuit. Because if we use brute force from outside the circuit, we have to use voltage to carry that new higher frequency to impact the internal activity of the circuit, and that carrier of voltage is going to wipe out any benefit of a gain without cost. But if we increase the frequency from within the circuit, not by using the brute force of voltage as a carrier wave, but simply by separating voltage from current by a phase difference of 180 degrees, now we get to play with electricity as if it had broken down into its constituent forces, the ingredients that make up electricity, without actually breaking electricity down. We will come very close to breaking it down, but not go all the way. Electricity is made up of time as one force, but that's a temporal force. The other two ingredients of electricity are spatial forces, the electromotive force and the magnetomotive force. When these two spatial forces are separate from each other, we get the ether, something we can't detect, we cannot measure it, we don't even know it exists. All we can do is stipulate that maybe it does exist. When these two spatial forces interact with each other in time, then we get material energy, something we can measure, something we can detect. So if we manipulate the interaction of these three components of electricity in such a way that it's almost ready to break down, then it makes the electricity manipulatable. And from this manipulation of electricity, we can synthesize or decompose electricity from its constituent forces or back into its constituent forces according to our pleasure. These two spatial forces always exist with time individually. It's just a question of whether or not they interact with each other. This latter condition is the measurable electricity we've come to know anything about by way of observation, while the former condition is theorized to exist based on Dmitri Mendeleev's pre-hydrogen elements of the periodic chart and the theory of electrical synthesis and decomposition of Eric P. Dollard.